Welcome back. Those were the main headlines. The more details. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi arrived in Britain on Sunday to take part in the 26th Conference of Parties COP26 on climate change. The two-day event takes place in Glasgow, Scotland on November 1st to the 2nd. Presidential spokesperson Bassam Raji said President al-Sisi's participation in the conference comes upon an invitation by British Prime Minister Boris Johnson in light of Egypt's important role regionally and internationally and within the framework of climate change negotiations. Raji said al-Sisi will focus during the COP26 talks on issues of importance to developing countries in general and to African states in particular. He said the president will also stress the need for industrialized countries to commit to deals within the Paris Climate Change Agreement. He added that the head of state will also assert hopes to host the next COP meeting next year. The president will hold talks with Johnson over boosting bilateral ties and continuing dialogue and coordination in a number of regional and international files of mutual concern. al-Sisi is also due to hold a number of meetings with world leaders and government representatives over bilateral ties and exchange views on regional and international issues. Meanwhile, G20 leaders on Sunday committed to the key goal of limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius, but campaigners slammed the lack of ambition as make or break UN climate talks opened in Glasgow. Following a two-day meeting in Rome, the group of 20 major economies agreed that keeping that goal would require meaningful and effective actions, according to the final summit statement. The leaders, whose nations between them emit nearly 80% of the carbon emissions, also promised action on coal, but failed to set a clear target on the key goal to reach net zero emissions. Earlier, the COP26 climate talks opened in Scotland with a warning by Summit President Alok Sharma that they were the last best hope to keep the goal of limiting global warming to 1.5 Celsius above pre-industrial levels. Under the auspices of President Fattah al-Sisi, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli attended a celebration marking World Cities Day, which the Upper Egyptian city of Luxor hosts. The celebration is attended by a number of ministers, governors, UN officials, high-ranking international officials, as well as ambassadors of foreign countries to Cairo. Addressing the celebration, Madbouli said that all bodies of the state have to work together to stimulate the sustainability of cities by increasing the green lands and investing in renewable energy. The Prime Minister added that the cities, despite applying the development in various aspects, are responsible for the climate changes that had a negative effect on the universe and led to nature disasters as floods and volcanoes. He asserted that the urban development file is on the priorities of the state development schedule. Minister of Defense and Military Production Mohammad Zaki attended on Sunday the operational statement Majd 16 of Artillery Department with live ammunition within the annual plan for military exercises under the scope of the 2nd Field Army. The minister was accompanied by Armed Forces Chief of Staff Osama Askar and a number of the Army leaders, as well as a number of students of the military colleges and institutes. The statement included tactical guidance, implementation of reconnaissance, and the provision of Air Force support work. Meanwhile, the commander of the 2nd Field Army gave a speech in which he hailed the full support of the armed forces through providing specialized weapons that help in reaching the highest level of readiness for achieving all tasks.